The slam of my bedroom door echoed like a gunshot down the hallway. Finally. 4 walls. My navy blue bedspread. The faint scent of vanilla diffuser and yesterday's coffee clinging to the air. Freedom. I dropped my backpack with a thud, textbook sliding sideways, a crumpled worksheet fluttering to the floor like a surrender flag. My sneakers came off in 2 violent kicks, landing crooked near the door. Socks next. Black, slightly stretched at the heel. I flopped onto my bed face first, sinking into the soft navy blue fabric, my ponytail spilling over my shoulder like a frayed rope. Home. Safe. Untouchable. I reached for my phone under the pillow, my lifeline, my weapon, my witness, and swiped it open. Notifications exploded. 3 DMs, 12 TikTok likes, 1 new follower, and at the top, @Class Clips Official had reposted my video. The one. I tapped it. The screen flashed to life. My own face, half hidden behind a textbook, eyes glittering with mischief. The audio kicked in, my voice, pitch-perfect mimicry, syrup-sweet and razor-sharp. SS solve for X, she stutters, like, seriously, Ms. Patel? It's algebra, not a TED talk on anxiety. A ripple of laughter from the class. The camera panned sideways, just enough to catch Sarah covering her mouth, Jake snorting into his elbow, even quiet Liam cracking a smile. Then, the best part, Ms. Patel turning around, mid-equation, her glasses slipping down her nose, blinking like she'd just woken up in the wrong decade. Is there something you'd like to share with the class, Emily? Her voice. That calm. That patience. Like she hadn't just been roasted live on 4th period TikTok. I'd shrugged, all innocence. Nah. Just thinking out loud. And the class lost it. The repost had 2.7k likes. Iconic loudly crying face. Ms. P really said carry the one, and also my dignity skull Emily for student council president ballot box #fire grinned wide, satisfied. My thumb hovered over share to story. Add a caption, when your teacher's syllabus is written in Morse code and hope. Just as I typed the H, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. Buzzed again. Unknown number. Ooh. Scammers. Survey bots. Wrong numbers. I muted it, tossed the phone onto the duvet. Then, 3rd time. Persistent. Insistent. I sighed, swiped to answer, but before I could say hello, a voice cut through, sharp as shattered glass. Emily. Come to the living room. Now. My blood froze. Mom. Not sweetie. Not honey. Can you just. Emily. Like she was reading my name off a warrant. I sat up too fast, heart jackhammering against my ribs. The phone slipped from my fingers, screen still glowing with my own smirking face. I found her in the living room, back turned, standing by the floor-to-ceiling window, sunlight haloing her low bun. She wore her work uniform, white blouse, grey trousers, reading glasses dangling from the silver chain around her neck. Professional. Composed. Except her knuckles were white around her phone. She didn't turn. Just held it out, speaker on. A woman's voice, deep, weary, unmistakable, filled the space between us. And while we understand adolescence involves boundary testing, what Emily did crosses into deliberate humiliation. She recorded Ms. Patel without consent, mocked her speech impediment, a lifelong condition she's overcome to become an educator, and distributed it for entertainment. This isn't mischief, Mrs. Carter. It's cruelty disguised as comedy. Principal Hayes. Oh God. My stomach dropped like a stone in a well. I opened my mouth, deflect, 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 but Mom finally turned. Her eyes didn't burn. They didn't flare. They just settled on me. Like a judge lowering a gavel. Disappointment. Not rage. Worse. It was just a joke. I blurted. Forcing a laugh, too high, too brittle. Everyone does it. It's viral, Mom. Sarah made one about Mr. Klein's comb-over last week, Emily. One word. Quiet. Final. She took a slow step forward. Then another. Not toward me, past me. Toward the hallway. Toward my room. My pulse spiked. No. No, no, no. She never went in uninvited. Never. That room was my fortress. My sanctuary. But she didn't knock. Didn't pause. She opened the door, my door, and stepped inside. Then, calmly, deliberately, she closed it behind her. Click. The sound echoed like a lock engaging. I stood frozen in the doorway, breath shallow. My room, my safe space, suddenly felt like a stage. The navy blue bedspread. The certificates on the wall, most improved, grade 10, science fair finalist. The lead string lights I'd hung myself, now mocking me with their soft, golden glow. Mom walked to my desk, picked up the framed photo, me and her, last summer at the lake. Both of us laughing, sunburnt, ice cream dripping down our wrists. She set it down, face down. Then she turned, sat on the edge of my bed, patted the space beside her. Come here. I didn't move. Emily. My legs carried me forward like they belonged to someone else. I sat, stiff, rigid, 2 inches from her. My navy skirt bunched under my thighs. My shirt clung to my back, damp with sweat. She didn't touch me, didn't raise her voice. She just looked at me, really looked, and said, voice low, raw, "You know what Ms. Patel told me last parent-teacher conference? When you were failing algebra?" I swallowed. "No, don't." She said, "Emily's brilliant. She just needs to believe she's worthy of her own mind." Mom's voice cracked, just once. She stayed 2 hours after school every Tuesday for a month. Brought you mint tea when your migraines hit. Wrote "You're capable of greatness, believe it" on your midterm, in red pen, so you'd see it first. A tear slipped down my cheek. I wiped it fast, stupid, weak. And today, Mom continued, you reduced her to a meme. You weaponized her vulnerability for clout. It wasn't about her speech. I burst out, defensive rising like bile. It was about how robotic she is. She drones on, no emotion, no emotion. Mom's voice sharpened, just a fraction. She cried when you finally aced that test. Did you know that? I saw her. In the staff lounge. Wiping her eyes, smiling. Silence. Thick. Suffocating. The TikTok audio replayed in my head, my voice, cruel and bright, SS solve for X. Suddenly, it didn't sound funny. It sounded small. Petty. Ugly. I looked down at my hands, nails bitten, cuticles raw. My navy blue skirt, wrinkled from the school bus seat. My stupid phone, still on the bed, screen now dark. Mom reached out. Not to hug me. Not to scold. She picked up my phone. My breath hitched. Mom, she unlocked it, my passcode. How did she? And opened TikTok. Scrolled to my profile. Found the video. Pressed delete. Are you done? She asked, voice flat. I couldn't speak. Nodded. She handed the phone back. Then stood. And said the words that turned my blood to ice. Bend over the bed. Hands on the pillow. My head snapped up. What? You heard me. Mom, please, it was just a video now. Not a shout. Not a threat. A command. Like steel wrapped in velvet. I stared at her. At the set of her jaw. The way her fingers curled, not into fists, but into resolve. This wasn't negotiable. This was consequence. Slowly, like moving through tar, I stood. Turned. Walked. The bed. Placed my hands on the soft navy blue pillow. Bent forward. The skirt tightened across my thighs. My shirt rode up slightly, exposing a sliver of bare back. I braced. Waited. Then, the first spank landed high on my backside, firm, sharp, real. Not playful. Not symbolic. A shockwave of heat. A gasp ripped from my throat. Lower this time. Deliberate. Unhurried. You don't get to treat people like content. Tears flooded my eyes, not from the sting, though it burned, deep and throbbing, but from the weight of it. The finality. The truth in her voice. You don't get to erase her humanity for a laugh. I bit my lip hard. Tried to stay silent. But the next one made me whimper. Then sob. Then collapse. My forehead pressed into the pillow. My shoulders shook. Each spank landed like a punctuation mark on my arrogance, humiliation, disrespect, cruelty. And through it all, Mom's voice, steady, aching, relentless, wove between the strikes. This isn't about pain. This is about remembering what it means to be human. To see people, not props. To choose kindness even when no one's watching. The room blurred, navy bedspread, beige walls, the faint glow of the LED lights all melting into streaks of color and sound and shame. I lost count. Lost time. All I knew was the heat. The rhythm. The crushing, beautiful love behind every single strike. Because this wasn't anger. This was care. The kind that doesn't flinch. The kind that says, I love you too much to let you become someone I don't recognize. Finally, silence. Her hand rested, warm and heavy, on my back. Stand up, Emily. I couldn't. My legs trembled. My face was wet, mascara streaked, throat raw from swallowed cries. She helped me, gently pulled me upright, guided me to sit beside her on the edge of the bed. My skirt was rumpled, slightly twisted. My shirt untucked. She didn't wipe my tears. She just looked at me, really looked, and asked, voice thick. Look at me. And tell me, truly, what you did wrong. I tried to speak. Couldn't. Tried again. Voice shattered. Barely a whisper, I made fun of Ms. Patel, in front of everyone, just to be funny. A sob broke through. And it wasn't funny. It was cruel. A pause. Deep breath. Then, raw, trembling, from the very core of me, I'm sorry, Mom. Not I'm sorry I got caught. Not I'm sorry you found out. I'm sorry I did it. She pulled me into her arms, fierce, grounding, unbreakable. And for the first time all day, I felt safe. Not because I'd escaped consequence, but because I'd finally faced it.